Okay. So, once again, for those joining on the live stream, good evening. Namo Buddhaya. And I'm Bhikkhuni Kaccayana. And tonight I'm here because Ayasopana, who's usually leading this program, is on her way to the East Coast for next phase of her life. This is a big transition, I think, for her and for our community here, and I think probably for those of you online here also. I know for many of you, Ayasopana has been an important spiritual friend over time, and so then there is a degree of loss, of change, something different here this evening. So Ayasopana, we paid our parting respects to her this afternoon, and she was saying how, we've actually been, for about the past 3 weeks, there's been various events of honoring her and various people coming to say goodbye. There was the honor from the board of directors, and then there was the gratitude lunch, and there was the, various other people coming by the monastery almost every day, and there was the last Sunday programs and the last Tuesday programs, and then finally this afternoon paying our parting respects. Then she was saying, it's like one of those symphonies where you think you've gotten to the end and the music is ramping up, da, 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 and then it stops, and then it does it again, and then it does it again, and just can't quite come to the end of that music. And it's true, like symphonies, when you have a big, powerful symphony, like, Beethoven or something, Beethoven goes on and on at the end. It's because it sort of takes that much to wrap it up when it's been such a large experience. And so then I think the fact that Ayasopana was feeling that way, that it's just been going kind of on and on, I think that's actually a good thing. That means that we've all done our job well in terms of caring for her, for our relationship with her. All of you who've come to see her and speak with her and offer your appreciation and care for her. This is how we befriend. This is how we can be friends with each other. How we can honor each other in our relationships when there are changes like this. And so for everyone who has come to appreciate her and offer their kindness and care during this time, then just anumodana. I appreciate you doing that, and I think well done. So good enough, complete enough with that for now. And so then, to carry on with the music metaphor, if, there's this big symphony in the concert hall and, it's echoing through the hall, but then it does come to an end. And, you get up from your seat and you start moving out into the lobby, out into the night, in the street. And, in a way, the music is still with you, still echoing, reverberating. You can still feel it in some way. But also, coming out to the street, then there start to be other sounds, other things, and you kind of look around and it's like, okay, well, what now? What is this? What's here at this time? And so I think we're, like right now here this evening, we're kind of in that phase of, we've had a big transition. There's been this whole series of endings the past few weeks, and now we come out. And we look around and see, where are we? And for me, then thinking about how we go forward with this program, with this teachings, with our friendships with all of you, then, when I look around and think, what's here, what's good, what can we continue to share, then I think about, all my fellows here in the monastic life. All my friends here in this monastery building. And, Ayasopana has been the public face of Dhammadharini, not entirely, but significantly for the past couple years. And my immense gratitude for everything that I have learned from Aya Sobana over the years and everything that she has put into this community. She's been a foundational part of my own experience here in many ways. But also I could equally say that of anyone else who's here with me. And especially of Ayat Taloka, our founding abbess, who is, my direct teacher. She is not joining us for the public teachings very much these days because of her health, but she's very much a part of our life here at the monastery, very, very much a part of my life and of others here, continuing to guide and teach. So for her, but also for everybody. And I think you don't know all of these people that I know here. I think those who are joining the online programs haven't necessarily had the opportunity. Some of you have. I know Chintana has been here, Ravanti has been here. I think you've met some of these other friends here. But I would like to, in the next few weeks, sort of introduce you to them a little at a time. That each of our other bhikkhunis here, whether older or newer, there's one here who I might want to introduce next week. But this week, I would like to introduce you, especially to my two friends here, Venerable Dhammanusari and Venerable Dhammavara. And I do see a hand up from Niyada. Would you like, but before I go into the next phase, would you like to say something?
Namaskaran. I would like to say namaskaran to everyone. Vulnerable. So everything will go great. Yes, because we always be going great. I've been here and there. I'm missing here and there because too busy at Neurotaram especially. But now it's have some time to join the talk, and I will happy to be Vatsa here.
Yes, we look forward to having you, and we might be
Thank you.
introducing you yourself in one of these programs coming up. So
Sure.
this is your warning. You might need to be introduced formally at a later program.
Okay.
But for now, I would like to. I'm happy to see you. Glad you can join us for tonight
Thank
and
you.
also going forward. And I'll be in touch with you. I have an email to send to you soon. Anyway, but I would like to go to these two here right now. So in order of how long I have known you, Venerable Dhammavara, we've been living together how long now? 7 years?
7 years.
11 and a half months.
Okay, 6 years, 11 and a half months.
6
That's
years.
basically 7 years.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, that's living together in this community, and going through a lot together. And we, I think, yeah, I was still not quite in robes when you arrived.
It's true.
But I think, that started very quickly though. Pretty soon after you arrived, then
Within the month,
I got into the white robes, and then just 6 weeks later, so did you. So we're very much close in age in monastic life, and have been together for a long time through various sorts of things. And I think for both of them, they're those who don't necessarily seek out the spotlight so much, not so comfortable like being the one in the spotlight speaking. So then when I thought about how could I introduce them and bring them out, I thought about well, let's do it together, because there is so much friendship there together. Venerable Dhammavara is somebody that I very much trust and rely on, who shows friendship in so many ways, like washing the dishes, watering the garden.
Cook together.
And, these sorts of things, just sort of being helpful, being present, being here. And I've learned a lot from her, and seen her grow a lot, and I know she's seen me grow a lot, and just sort of appreciating that and hoping that each of you can come to know her also in some way. And Venerable Dhammanusari, how long have I known you
Nusari.
now?
Namaskaran. Dhammanusari.
Hi, greeting to everyone.
Oh, you need your microphone. So I think I met you in. It's on. Can you hear?
Yeah, hello.
Can you hear her? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Well, actually, I have met Kaccayana on 2019 to now
In Cambodia, we
in
met.
Cambodia.
In Cambodia.
Right, that's the first time. And then I'm traveled to here on 2020.
Yes. First time here.
Yeah, first time here
And then
until
you've
now.
come back every year
And
since then.
yes, I come back every year.
Very nice.
Yes, yeah, because I'm live in Canada,
Oh.
so it's just like a neighbor. It's just like, yeah. And after 6 months from here, around like from sometime in Canada, sometimes in Cambodia, but mostly in Cambodia.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in Cambodia was where we met, and at that time we were both novices.
Yes.
And she was actually my senior novice
Yes.
at that time. So she's actually older than me in the robes, and it's just sort of, an accident that I ended up with the bhikkhuni ordination first. So I'm now the senior, but she was originally my senior, and I think I feel like I've learned a lot from her also over the years, and think of her as really a beautiful example of friendship, just all around to everybody, all the time. And so I am happy to be here with my two friends this evening, and I thought this would be a good time to reflect on spiritual friendship together. And so I'm going to invite each of them to speak a little bit about that theme, and then we will have a little time also for questions and discussion with all of you, sort of inviting you in, inviting you to know all of us here. And I think
So, hello.
I think we were going to have Venerable Dhammavara start, right?
I think so.
All right, so inviting Venerable Dhammavara to share. I think you have a sutta reading for us.
I do. Good evening.
Yeah, are you able to hear her?
If she have microphone, that
Right,
would
can
be
you
great.
turn on that mic?
I thought it was on. I thought we had turned it on earlier. You need to be closer.
Okay,
It's
How-
a bit intrusive.
can test now. How is that?
How is the sound?
No? Yes?
It's working. It's good.
Working?
Working,
Okay.
okay.
Are you more comfortable with the handheld one? Yeah. Is that one better?
Is that any better?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah. Sound
it's great.
is okay.
Okay, good. One of the first things that came to my mind when we were talking about friendship is something I had read when I first came into the kitchen. And it had been in the kitchen, oh gosh, for several years. And then one day I came back from the Hermitage and it wasn't there anymore. But this became a friend of mine because it had been there and I read it every day. And I knew a bhikkhuni had actually hand-printed it. And I reflected upon this every day for quite a while because of where it was positioned. I got to read it many times. So I'm going to share this with you. It's called Half the Spiritual Life. So I have heard, at one time the Buddha was staying in the land of the Sakyans, where they have a town named Townsville. Then Venerable Ananda went up to the Buddha, bowed, sat down to one side, and said to him, "Sir, good friends, companions, and associates are half the spiritual life." "Not so, Ananda, not so, Ananda. Good friends, companions, and associates are the whole of the spiritual life. A mendicant with good friends, companions, and associates can can expect to develop and cultivate the Noble Eightfold Path? And how does a mendicant with good friends develop and cultivate the Noble Eightfold Path? It's when a mendicant develops a right view which relies on seclusion, fading away in cessation, and ripens to letting go. They develop right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right immersion, which relies on seclusion, fading away, cessation, and ripens as letting go. That's how a mendicant with good friends develops and cultivates the Noble Eightfold Path. And here's another way to understand how good friends are the whole of the spiritual life. For, by relying on me as a good friend, sentient beings who are liable to rebirth, old age, and death, to sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and distress, are freed from all these things. This is another way to understand how good friends are the whole of the spiritual life.
Sadhu,
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 sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu. Was so wonderful to hear this. It's so great that actually this sutta, I probably never read about this at all, or it have across to my mind. But by hearing this, it means so much. And that's remind me that when I hear the topic that Kaccayana and why to speak about these friendships, yes, I do prepare some which is as a regular living life. So I thinking and I have write it down. It's about learning to be a friendship. It is about have patient, humble, kind when we are together with other one or two or three,
Yeah,
with the people. The mind of us are very different.
yeah,
So to be engaged to get a good relationship, I myself take a foundation of respect. That first step is respect own self, always mindful of all action, speech, and mind. The mind's always thinks in different way, but actually I always think and see the danger too before do anything. Why do I say this? Because as I mentioned, so we are
mute.
different mind. So we should have the morality, wisdom, and courage, support each other, and avoid things are not perfect. Like support during a difficult time when we see or we living together with a community. And motivation and inspire to be understand the problem. Once in part of myself is practice happy. When I'm talking about this happy, it's remind that each of us like the good morning, if we have each other and smile, that is a good. For me, it's very bring the day. It's fresh. But I learned something about when I came here. Mostly each vasa, I stay in Aranya Bodhi. We have a rule that from 8 a.m. from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. we have a silent speech. I learned that and I still practice in here. So somehow, forgive me if the morning that I try to smile still, but my speech is less. So that, why did I say that I keep doing this? Because as we are together, we have other things to do things a lot. So this is the kind that we should relax from things. That to keep the mind that how can I say a little fresh for the morning. So those I really happy, and I really like how the Dhammanusari have this kind of rule. But I don't know in DM here, are we practice this or not? So, Venerable and everyone here, I was talking about motivation because as we live, we get out from our home life to live in the community. It's not a group of you live at school or college or military, you always see each other. But as in here, we have see each other exchange, like come in, come out, new different things. And I'm trying to talk right now, maybe I confuse everyone a little bit, because as I am living as a bhikkhuni, and but I want to pick up something that in a general, not just about monastics. It's about the general. What I have said, I think I have said about patient. Did I say that?
I mentioned patience.
Right.
Yes.
So I'm thinking about in the olden times, the whole world, every culture, we seem to be live in each group, and everything we accept agreement of the group. That what I'm trying to say is like okay, engagement to the marriage, something like that. But without a patient, we could not living together as a relationship. And those days, if you figure it out a little bit, we kind of different, okay, this country of that. But we stick to each group. It's not like now we open mind more. But when I want to talk that, because of how they patient, they listen, even the engaged married, they success in their marriage. I believe that's so in the olden time. So that's why I said be patient is connect to relationship. But relationship in patient in wisdom, not just patient if you have something not right, you keep patient. That's not the way the Buddha teach. So the Buddha already teach us that get panya, wisdom. So be aware of that. So right now I really don't know how I can talk anything more unless anybody who have any question. Actually, one thing I want to say too, when we have relationship, we kind of try not to be close too much, because that will can bring you, how it say, relationship have effect. And following that, if we get affected, it will be pain. That arising will be pain. So that's why we need to get panya, wisdom, and how to get panya and wisdom. So we practice mindful. And as
Sadhu, sadhu.
yes, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Yeah.
Sadhu that can give me an opportunity to talk.
Yes, thank you. And sadhu, sadhu. And yes, I think, I want to tell a story about you. Which I think what you were just saying reminds me of about the, well, we'll see. So an example of you, I think, sort of have a friendship for everything in a way. For the animals, especially in the forest. Sometimes in the forest at Aranya Bodhi Hermitage, then you see the little animals running around, but also sometimes you see the little ones who have died. Sometimes like lying on the side of the path, something like this, you see a little mouse, little bird, little lizard, somebody lying on the ground. And, when I see that, then often I think, oh, it's sort of interesting. Mindfulness of death, looking at that, trying to understand about that. Sometimes if it's right in the middle of the path, I might take a little leaf or something, move it aside. But I remember one time, actually maybe even more than one time, walking by and seeing a little dead creature by the side. And then walking back later, and I saw a little pile of like rocks beautifully arranged over it with some flowers. Like a little beautiful grave had been made for that little creature. And who was doing that? Well, it was this one. And I just think like, for me, I walk by and it's like, oh, it's just a little animal. I don't have to give that kind of care to it. But for you to just sort of go and like give that care, even to the small animal in that way is very beautiful. But also I think I don't think you were like grieving so much. I think you had the wisdom that, I don't know, maybe you were. But I think you sort of had the wisdom of like being able to care for that, but also, just knowing that care is good, it's enough. It doesn't have to be like sadness about it. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to tell that story about you, which I think is a beautiful, actually, example of what you were just saying.
Well, I took that, not get used to. Well, I took that as a compassion. Perhaps maybe I have go through for a good life and a bad life together. By keep it together, it's to be in the middle. So, yes, when I see those kind of animal or those little things that, I think some of the lizard or something,
Lizards,
yeah,
yes,
they
sometimes.
die because maybe the bird come to eat it. And many of them at the Aranya Bodhi. So during the night, I always, after Lila chanting in the koti, and spread the metta of that. And well, actually, when I was small, I'm not very friend or kind. I'm just too much by myself. Didn't want to speak too much. But when I have met during the difficult time of my life and a good time, I see people living, or at school they living as a different group, like how you say in Iraq difference, different group, because they are good family, they are poor. So my heart is pure to see not the same of them. I have a deep heart with the people who have a very hard condition, very hard. Like some of my friends did not study well, and I asked why. They had to work to help their parents. So I changed myself, and I changed a lot, yeah. But when I become to put myself as being ordination, I start to know the rule of Vinaya for Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni, more disciplined, very disciplined. So it make me be humble more. Yeah, I'm not really humble. I'm a little
Not really,
rough.
Little rough.
Oh, wow.
Well, okay. Well, I see a hand from Chintana, and then I do want to hear a little more from Venerable Dhammavara after that. But, Chintana, yes, please.
I don't know why I have an echo. If there's anything to do about that.
Sounds okay from here.
Okay, that's fine. So at Aranya Bodhi, I recall Kaccayana telling us that little bugs that would be crawling across the decking, she'd call them her little friend. And it was the cutest darn thing I've ever seen. But it was sincere. So she would go and pick up this little critter, whatever it is, and move it from the walkway so no one would step on their little friend. And so I haven't forgotten that. And to this day, I think of having little friends here. I also had a situation with you. I'm sure you recall. It was just you and I left at Aranya Bodhi. And I had a tick about drilled into my back, like half an inch. And I had to ask you to remove it for me. That was a little bit distressing. So I recall that. But I do like to recall little friends on the ground so I don't step on little friends. And just wanted to say that for Dhammanusari, I have a kindred spirit with you. But I was told, I think from Tenerife, that you talk to the animals. Now, I was told this in a space where she stopped everything, looked me in the face, and said, I keep disappearing. Okay. She talks to the animals individually. And it wasn't like, oh, she talks to you. It's like you have conversations with the animals. So she let me know that about you. But I too love animals, and I too love being at the creek. And I've always felt like a kindred spirit with you. And to this day, I cannot pronounce the other Aya's name. I need lessons or something. I mean, I can barely get Kaccayana and Dhammanusari out, so I've got to work on her name.
Okay, Dhammavara.
But then you speak differently than I do. So, Dhammavara.
A lot of people say Dhammavara, but it's actually Dhammavara.
Yeah, okay, you're the scholar. I'll work on it.
All right.
But we really haven't had, even though we've passed each other, washed dishes probably together, we really just haven't had a lot of time together. So maybe that'll be rectified.
Yeah. Well, maybe this is a good time to invite her to have a little more time to tell us, because I think you had some more thoughts about that sutta that you were...
I have never seen her smile so much as she has tonight. I'm just, seriously, it's just adorable. Okay, I'm done.
Washing dishes usually.
All right. And are you able to hear her now? Yes, sorry about the microphone.
I think I had two thoughts. One, when I first read that, I was so new in the community that I didn't have a spiritual friend. I didn't have my awuso. I didn't have a Kaccayana. I didn't have my Mita friends. I didn't have anybody, but reading that every day taught me how to be in a community. Just reflecting on the qualities that were mentioned and trying to bring those out in myself taught me how to be here in the values. And those were only enriched once Awuso did come on the scene.
Right.
In the value of having a good friend that deepens those qualities and brings out the best of those within us.
Right. So can I explain awuso?
Please.
Awuso means friend. It's a respectful term towards an equal. And these two here, they ordained together. They are ordination sisters. It was just the two of them at that ordination in 2022. And it was really actually very beautiful to watch you two like bonding during that time. And since then, the way that you two like support each other is very beautiful to watch. And you do have this, it's not a special term just for them, but they do use this term awuso, of the respectful term towards a friend or an equal with each other especially. And so anyway, just to
Thank you.
mention that, because I think I didn't before. But please carry on.
No, I think that was it. I think just deep appreciation for the value of having a good friend that is there to encourage, enrich, support, inspire.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I guess, well, we only have a few minutes left, and I'd like to invite any other friends here. Would anyone else like to share or ask anything or reflect on anything? What does spiritual friendship mean to you? And how do you find it? How can you live it? How can you develop the qualities of that in many different relationships? That was a lot of questions. Those are just anything about that anyone would like to come on with, please. Niyada, yes.
Thank you so very much. I think friendship is good. We are human. We are what you call social creature. So we need a friendship. And in the term that we are under follow Buddha. Buddha always taught to be good to each other. Be good to yourself, be good to each other. And that will build up a very nice and good friendship. And also we have to caution to not get attached to each other, because we practice to not attach to anything. So when we have a strong bond with the time, with the experience, also in the meanwhile, we have to be cautious to not caught up with emotion, like vulnerable. So Hannah that have gone to the East Coast, a lot of us have some sort of emotion attack, which is, is common of a human being. That's why, to become here in America, to be Wasa here, in a different group of people, different culture, away from Nirodharam, is the thing that is the best for me, I think, to do kind of like not attached to them, not feel so comfortable with them, because it will against my practice. Because we here to try to not attach to anything, even self. So to be move on to the different chapter, a new chapter, I think is a great opportunity. That's why I kind of, oh, I'm here. I have to be in with y'all because, it will be some experience of my monastic life that I wish I try to untie with a tad, whatever it is. I'm been in Nirodharam for 2 years. It's kind of like start to build up the friendship around me and a good feeling. So if it's farther than that, it might be hard to get away. So this is another thing that we need to caution and highlight. Stay on the practice. Try to get on the highest, which is nibbana. Nibbana is, you're not caught up with bad or good in the middle way. And we try to analyze, to understand those terms, how we do ourselves to be in that path and go to and reach the successful to Nibbana, which is going to be so very difficult. A few people can reach the successful, but if you keep thinking, I can do it, or I can do it, someday you will do it. That's how I kind of motivate myself. That's how I'm be here. I'm so happy that they've been announced your invitation, people at Nirodharam to become ambassador here. I mean, for that moment, I say, wow, it's great. It's just like a present from heaven dropped on to me. I got to do this. I got to do this for real. And here it is. I'm here. And I'm waiting for you to answer me back that when
Yeah.
I can have my daughter purchase a ticket.
Right. Yeah. I'll be in touch
Okay,
with you
thank you
about that.
so
That's
thank
the
you so
email I
much.
owe you.
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much, Anyata. Actually, I should call you Sikamana Aryawangsi.
Arya Wangsam.
I should be updating your name here. I'm sorry,
Arya
Aryawangsi.
Wangsi. Yes.
And thank you so much. Yeah, I think you bring out an important point that Venerable Dhammanusari also mentioned about even with this friendship, still there is the non-attachment part that is part of our path and part of our training. And so then how to square that with what Venerable Dhammavara shared, the sutta says friendship is the whole of the spiritual life. But, it's friendship. It's not the friend. It's not a particular friend. It's the quality of friendship that can be developed in ourselves and with anyone. And, these qualities, if we come to recognize really what is spiritual friendship, what are the qualities that make up friendship, then those are things to develop that we can see in ourselves, that we can see in others, that we can grow in, and that will be onward leading on the path. And, we have this training ground with the individual people, some of whom are easy to be friends with, some of them harder to be friends with. Here in community life, you are bumped together with a variety of people. And so then that is your training ground to be developing the quality of friendship with all of them, and with yourself, and clearing out whatever more personal likes and dislikes there may be can be cleared out, and it be replaced with just this kind of spiritual friendship, the kind that puts us forward on the path, that does bring us towards Nibbana. The Buddha himself being our greatest spiritual friend, the one who showed us the way, who had our goodwill at heart and showed us the way to go there. This is the kind of friendship that is most important to us, the one that brings us onward. But it's very helpful to have the human form of that friend, very helpful to have many human forms or animal forms, or that we can practice with, that we can grow with. And hopefully all together we can be moving each other forward and understanding that these qualities are not bound to any one person. They're just the qualities of friendship can be found anywhere, can be developed anywhere, and that this is our training, this is our practice. So, thank you very much, Nyada. You have something to share?
Yes, right. In a social life, when we have a friendship, which means everything will be success. Like the example of the store, if the owner didn't have a good relationship to the customer, not hi, no, hello, smile, I don't think it will be success. And you work together in an office or something like that. So I have to have all the morality, and you wondering that what should I bring that morality? And whereas in the Buddha way or Buddhism, we have 5 precepts. So if we all have this majority living, so it's easy to build a friendship and to have metta. I think most of the word metta, the same thing Panteji already mentioned. It's not metta. Some people thinking metta is karuna, but metta is a friend. So when we, to get a friendship, we must have a trust and honest, and how to measure the life of living. So that's why I said the morality, which is we just take example 5 precepts, that's good enough to build a friendship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the basis. So yeah, these are the qualities of friendship, the morality, very much so. That's a basis. If we're moral with each other, then we can trust each other. I do want to say we're coming towards the end of our time. Do you have a closing thought for us?
Not for the moment.
All right. Are there any other last things, anything important for anyone to share or ask? So quiet? Yes? Anyone else? All right. Well, I see a heart from Chintana. Thank you, Chintana. So thank you very much for joining us, appreciating all of your presence with us and your own growing in the path, all of us growing together here as friends, as spiritual friends to each other. So I'm glad that you're all sort of sticking with us so far, and I hope to be introducing more and more of our monastics here to you over the next few weeks, and so that we can all be looking at these qualities together of friendship, of goodness, of support, and mutual progress on the path, carrying each other forward. So, sadhu, sadhu, thank you. Richard, you had a final thought here? Yes, please.
Thank you. This is just a technical thing about your website. Your
Yes.
biography seems to be displaying as it's cut off.
Oh, okay.
And the person next to you on the same line, theirs looks like it's cut off as well. You may want to
All
look
right.
at that.
Thank you for that tip. We'll go check that out.
Okay, thank you for listening.
All right. Well, with that, I think we may pay our respects to our great spiritual friend, the Buddha, and his Dhamma, and all of our friends in the Sangha. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami. Supatipanno Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho Sanghang Namami.
Sadhu, sadhu,
Oh,
sadhu.
thank you.
All right.
Thank you for the
for
quality
joining.
time.
Very good. Excellent job. You all did an excellent job. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you all. We'll see you next week.